There has been a lot of debate online over the halftime show, and so I wanted to come on here and give my opinions about it. At first, people were upset that the halftime show was in Spanish, but that quickly shifted after the show to an argument over explicit lyrics. Many brought accusations at Bad Bunny on Christians and politicians alike about explicit lyrics. And this ended up actually being a lie since as we all know, you can't broadcast explicit lyrics, and so Bad Bunny actually changed the lyrics of his songs and cut out the portions that had those explicit lyrics. Those explicit lyrics were actually shared, but they weren't shared by Bad Bunny. They were actually shared by Christians who plastered these nasty lyrics, which they were bad lyrics, all over the internet, trying to say that Bad Bunny was bad. Now, not only was it a lie, but it also exposed lots of people to these bad lyrics. And being that that was their main concern about the lyrics to begin with, it just seems hypocritical to me. Now, there is a person who didn't change their lyrics, and that person is Kid Rock. So at the Kid Rock halftime show, he did say all his explicit lyrics for his Ba With A Ba song. And as many have already said, they were upset about the Spanish lyrics because nobody would be able to understand what he was saying. But at the same time, Kid Rock's most famous song is Ba With A Ba. Nobody knows what he's saying, except for, of course, all the explicit lyrics that come after the chorus. Another claim that I saw was that many people were trying to flip this and twist this Kid Rock show into being a sort of redemption story, right? Kid Rock was coming in and he was singing his explicit song first, and then he came back out as his real name and sang a heartfelt God song at the end, right? But that doesn't excuse the fact that people were upset about exposing people to explicit lyrics, which Kid Rock actually did. He actually still exposed people to his bad lyrics, even if he was trying to show this before and after image of who he was. He still exposed people to bad language. But on that topic about Kid Rock getting his life changed by Jesus, which many Christians are saying, oh, he was born again, and so now he's different, and we shouldn't judge him over, all the nasty things he said in the past, specifically all the things about minor girls that he said in the past. The reality is that Kid Rock has been saying that he is a born-again Christian for almost 10 years now. But his last album came out in 2022, well after he claims that he became a born-again Christian, and that album still has really bad explicit lyrics. So in my opinion, he's not showing the fruits of somebody who is actually saved and who is coming under conviction of the Spirit of God to meet a new standard. So remember that the argument now is explicit lyrics. Bad Bunny didn't give explicit lyrics at the halftime show. Kid Rock did. And the president, who many claim to be a Christian representative, is the first president to ever drop an F-bomb. And why do I bring this up? I bring this up because if the battle is against explicit lyrics, then why don't we hold everybody to the same standard? And above that, why are we holding somebody who doesn't claim to be Christian, Bad Bunny, to a Christian standard? And at the same time, not holding people who claim to be Christians to that same Christian standard. So is there a double standard here? I don't know. You're going to have to be the judge of that. But remember, one of them claims to profess Jesus and one of them doesn't. Another thing is that the Tapusa event claimed to be the Christian family-friendly alternative, and they chose Kid Rock. I think it would have been better, in my opinion, as a Christian, to have chosen a real Christian worship leader and make the event about worshiping God than it is about, whatever it was about. I don't think it exemplified Christianity or faith or family. The Tapusa event also claimed that it was the all-American show, yet I didn't see one black artist on stage. I didn't see one Asian, Hispanic, no other race represented on stage as an artist. And so I think it brings to question what they really actually mean by saying all-American. And I think that you're going to have to be the judge of that one too. But many people told me, Rodrigo, but the gospel was preached. And certainly I'm happy that there was the one line, "Give your life to Jesus," said by Kid Rock. But again, it seems to me that it was an afterthought. You see, in my opinion, watching the Tapusa halftime show, it glorified substance abuse more than it did God. It mentioned alcohol and drinking more than it did the name of Jesus. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that the Tapusa show was amazing. As a Christian, I'm not going to sit here and be hypocritical. We should demand more of people who say they represent Christ. Because Jesus is not something you sprinkle at the end to justify bad decisions. He is either Lord of all or not Lord at all.